You are live with Dr. Chapa. Good morning, good day. Wherever you're tuning in from, we are excited because we know if you are tuned in to the Dr. Chapa Wellness Show, you're in for a treat. You're going to learn something new, you're going to apply something new, and you're going to get some new results. That's essentially what everybody wants, right? We want you to feel your best, live your best day in and day out, and people are suffering needlessly and they don't know where to turn. They're at a loss. They are reaching to medications. They're reaching to shots. They are reaching to anything other than what is actually going to work. And so at drchapawellness.com, we teach people how to live better, be better, stay better, one bite at a time. And I'm always coming to you every week with the same message, but packaged a little differently, because essentially people tell me all the time, Doc, you got to niche down. And I'm like, well, how do you niche down when you're dealing with an infant? How do you niche down when you're dealing with strep throat? How do you niche down when you have UTIs? How do you niche down when your hormones are a wreck? How do you niche down when you can't lose weight? How do you niche down when you have acid reflux, indigestion, bloating, migraines, high blood pressure, cholesterol? The reality is, guys, is I have sat through thousands of hours of 10,000 hours of seminars in learning, growing, developing myself so that I could help better develop you, prepare you for what's coming, because it ain't getting better out there and no one's coming for you. You have to self-select. You have to make a decision and take the bull metaphorically by the horns, turn that baby on his nose and make sure that you're on top. You know what I mean? So if you can get behind living your best, being your best, staying your best day in and day out, can you give me some fire in the chat? Can you get excited and say, man, I want what you're talking about? So that's my little intro. Go to drchapawellness.com, tap in, dial in, get plugged in so that we can teach you how to live best, be best, stay best, one bite at a time, baby. That's right. Food is medicine and medicine is food. Don't reach to medications. Let's start with the basics. Let's make change and let's get into this. This is exciting stuff. So we're going to be talking tonight about your gut. Well, don't you talk about that all the time? Well, yes, but I have some different ways for you to think about it, because yes, it's about bloating, gas, bowel health basics, and recognizing symptom patterns, but people don't realize that statistically right now, we are in American pandemic of weight issues. Global obesity is at its all-time high. 1 in 8 people globally are obese at this stage of the game. Global overweight, okay, this is not obese, just overweight, 2.5 billion adults. That's a lot of human beings heading towards the metaphoric glacier. They're heading towards the iceberg, and they don't realize that they're gonna wreck their health and they don't have to suffer. So 43% of the world is metabolically overweight. This is scary stats. Right now, we're looking at active weight loss trends. Over 55% of the population is on some sort of weight loss journey. Half the population is trying to fix it. What does that mean? We're not doing a very good job if we have thousands upon thousands of people like myself that are teaching people how to do this work. But unfortunately, what are people reaching to? The new craze. They're reaching to GLP-1 injections. They're looking to Ozempic. They're looking to Wegovy. Oh yeah, 2026, man, millions are turning to this medical override, metabolic override. And 1 in 7 people are going towards this path for getting a result that they could get if they just find some self-control. Oh, wait a second. Don't touch that button, because at the end of the day, even if you're doing Ozempic, even if you're on a shot of some sort of peptide, guess what? You still have to eat right. You still have to get the basics right. You still have to pay attention to what your belly is telling you. So I put this little picture up here because I want you to understand that it isn't just about bloating, gas, and bowel basics. Sometimes it's about what's your body shape. Are you the pear shape? Are you the thyroid shape or the pear shape? Are you the apple shape, which is pituitary? Are you adrenal in nature, which you're kind of stocky all over, just big everywhere? Are you the liver body type that basically you got what they call the Dunlap belly? You know, your belly's Dunlapped over your belt. Ooh, Chop, why are you being so harsh tonight? The reality is I am just sharing truths. Are you big in the butt, big in the thighs? If this is your presentation, it typically means stuff, right? So if you've got big butt, big thighs, it's an ovary issue. If you've got a Dunlop belly, the Dunlopped over your belt buckle, that's a liver body type. If you're thyroid, you're the pear. If you're pituitary, you're the apple. And what we know is you can look yourself in the mirror and know something's wrong. Well, what are we trying to do right now? Economically, the impact is one in a $111.8 billion industry trying to find the cost to just digestive issues. So if we follow the money, silent visits to the office, 35.4 million, the number of annual doctor visits for primary digestive complaints. It all starts in the gut. So if you haven't been to drchopawellness.com, you should go. You should do a detox. Our Detox in a Box is there available for you to get and to tap into and be a part of a community and have resources, tools, so that you can unravel your problem digestively speaking. Because every one of us can take it to the bank. If you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. And I want people to grab hold of this, that it's your life, your health, your choice. So if you're not detoxing with me, you're missing an opportunity to be educated with things that I've been doing over the years to better people's lives day in and day out. And it isn't that hard. So why gut health matters, okay? So gut health essentially is, if you want to have energy that's sustaining through the day, you've got to do more with your digestive tract so that you can turn on the manufacturing facility to get your B vitamin supply up where it needs to be so that the mitochondria have the ability to produce ATP. Do you know where you have the most mitochondria? Well, if you've got brain fog, you guessed it, your brain. And that means your mitochondria in your brain are not producing at the rate and level they could, and that's why you've got foggy mind. That's why you walk into a room and you can't remember why you walked in there. That's why names, numbers, and words seems difficult. You're like, I know that person, I can't think about that person, and then you think, oh my gosh, when you're in the shower 2 or 3 days later, when you're never gonna see him again, you say to yourself, it was so-and-so. Met them in 1992. So immune function, if you want to have a strong, healthy immunity, you better have a strong, healthy gut lining. The gut lining houses 95% of your immune system. Everything that you put in your mouth, everything you drink, everything you even breathe in through your nose, all has to be challenged by mucous membranes and that epithelial lining in your lungs, your sinuses, your mouth, and of course your entire nervous system in your gut lining. So if you want a strong immune system, if you want big energy, you better get your gut right. What about your hormones? I mean, if you don't have adequate gut function, your hormones are going to be wonky. What does that mean? Well, that means that you're not going to be able to clear estrogens. Excessive estrogens that are coming in from pesticides, residues from plants are everywhere. You can't get around it. So you better have a detox system that can get rid of it. That's for sure. So I really want you to grab hold of this so that you can change the dynamics of your hormones. It's not that your hormones are out of balance. It's that your detox pathways, gut lining, and you're malnourished to the point where your hormones won't regulate themselves. That's what's getting you in trouble. Mood and focus. Well, we kind of already talked about focus, so let's just talk about mood. Well, you have 3 million more neurotransmitters in your digestive tract than you do in your brain. Some people are very specific. It is serotonin. Well, it's more than that, but let's just use serotonin because they like to pick on that in all the white papers. And essentially what that means is that's your joy chemical that makes you feel Jesus on you. Joy, joy, joy. This joy, joy, joy down in my heart. Where's that coming from? That's serotonin. And serotonin is lasting, it's sustaining, and it's what we all long for. And I would even go off to say, if you're not motivated, that's dopamine. So don't just think that it's just serotonin. It's 3 million more neurotransmitters manufactured in your gut lining than you have in your brain. So if you want a healthy brain, if you want a strong immunity, if you want strong, vibrant, lasting energy all the day long, if you want your hormones stable and keeping you going in your menopausal years, or males, you too, your andropause years, you better get this gut thing right. So when the gut struggles, guys, the body feels it everywhere. Now, of course, everywhere means it might be your mood for some, it may be your hormone hot flashes, night sweats for others, it may be weight gain for everybody else, it could even be, of course, your immunity, your immune system, allergies, and how you deal with the world around you, okay? So what we know about the gut is the gut obviously affects all the things we just talked about, but the simple of it is if you are dealing with daily gas, okay, excessive bloating, that is a dead ringer that something is out of balance in the digestive tract. There's 30 feet of intestinal system from mouth to hind end, and guess what, guys? There's a lot that happens in there. It is digesting, it is absorbing, it is manufacturing, it is excreting, and it is processing data. So there is so much that happens inside the gut lining, and if you have bloating in the belly button and above towards your stomach, you know you got upper GI issues. If you got digestive bloating below the belly button, you know you have, and it comes on later in the day, by the end of 4 or 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, you're feeling like you're a little bit pregnant. That's an indication that the system is not processing whatever you ate for breakfast, lunch, snacks in between, all the way up to your dinner. So if you're popping your belt buckle after dinner going home, that's another indicator that your system hit that metaphoric wall of digestive insufficiency. I can't break my food down, okay? And that is a big deal. So excessive gas, if you have stinky gas, okay, let's just differentiate. If this is a lot of gas, it means things. So, does anybody know? If you have stinky gas, put it in the chat. What is it? And I'll tell you, it's easy. It's protein digestion, so it's stomach issues. You're basically putting a brick in your stomach and wondering why it won't break down. That means the stomach acids in the upper GI system isn't keeping up with the breakdown of those proteins, and it's leaving you vulnerable, and it putrefies, and it smells rank, and that's why you have stinky gas. If you have a lot of gas, high bloat and high gas factory, but there's no foul stench, that's a carbohydrate digestive problem. That means you have some kind of dysbiosis. If you're chronically constipated or diarrhea or some version irritably on both sides of that, but they haven't fully diagnosed you as irritable bowel yet, that's an indication that your gut lining is definitely inflamed and starting to become imbalanced or clogged up. That means you just got too much junk in the trunk. We were doing some play study the other day, and everybody has heard me say this. Patrick Swayze, 28 pounds of fecal matter in his gut. Some of you younglings that don't know who that is, he's one of the greatest music and movie dancers ever, martial artist, awesome guy, seemingly, and he died of pancreatic cancer. Then you've got the Duke, John Wayne, McClintock, El Dorado, great movies, right? I Was Raised Right, John Wayne, the Duke. He had over 35 pounds of fecal matter caked up in his colon cancered body. How sad is that? And you've got now Elvis Presley, who had 40 pounds of fecal matter caked up inside his body. Wow. Guys, digestion affected every one of these people. Pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, and of course Elvis, how he died. It's interesting to watch that gut was the base cornerstone for all of these situations. Constipation is a big deal. Now, you might go, well, I poop every day, I'm not constipated. And I might go, no, you have dirty bowel syndrome. If you have dirty bowel syndrome, that's just as bad, because that means your real estate for absorption is down, which means you're only as good as the food you can absorb. Chew on that a second. You're only as good as the food you absorb. But doc, I eat all the right foods. Yeah, but if you don't absorb any of the right nutrients, you ain't getting what you want out of that food. So you're really only as good as the food you digest and the real estate for which you have to absorb it. So I really want to help you understand that digestion is critical and key. Do you have irregular bowel movements? Let's say that you don't poop every day. Let's say that you don't have a bowel movement within 3 hours of waking up. Your bowels are indeed dirty and you need a cleanse. You need a detox. DrChapawellness.com. Let's get it. I want to help you. If you're constantly dealing with abdominal discomfort, understand your body's trying to get your attention. And this is the most violent sport on the planet, to take a hamburger and turn it into a pile of poo. Okay, so please get this. This isn't rocket science. This is just the way the body's designed to work. And I want you to really grab hold of it so that you feel your best day in and day out. Okay, so this is not hard. This is easy. So bloating, what it means. Bloating is poor digestion, food sensitivities, gut inflammation, imbalanced gut bacteria. If bloating is happening, something is off. The contribution, even on both accounts, a big-bellied person or a little-bellied person, they still feel bloat inside their body. Do you feel it early in the meal or late in the meal? It tells us things. We want to help figure that out. If you're definitely not having a bowel movement every day, you're getting backlog, you're getting caked up. If you feel like your tummy is flatter in the morning, even if you are traditionally a little bit heavier, overweight, and big-bellied already, guess what? It means that you didn't break down, it means you broke your food down pretty good at night, but it cakes up on you by the end of the day. So that means that there's yeast overgrowth. That means that you're feeding bugs in the body. This helps us understand if you have bioburdens. So we want to get into your world and fix these problems. So gas isn't just air trapped in your stomach. Undigested food fermenting, that's what is giving you the gas. Low stomach acids in the stomach. Like I said, you're only as good as the food you absorb, right? But you do all your digestion for proper absorption option in your stomach. So your stomach acid in today's world right now, people are wrecked with stomach acid issues. Meaning doctors are putting people on Tums and Nexium, which is the purple pill, and other proton pump inhibitors. There's all kinds of names for these things. And if you're on a stomach acid reducing supplement, heaven forbid your child is on a stomach acid reducing drug, guess what? You better slap your doctor upside the head. Tell them that is the dumbest, craziest thing you could do to a digestive tract is to turn off the digestive stomach. You've got to figure out what the underlying cause is. Had a patient come in, their baby was full of colic, they were miserable, they were bloated, and they had a lot of mucus, and then they couldn't sleep at night, and it was nothing more than a food allergy. Their doctor wanted to do a drug to stop the stomach acid reflux, so to speak. Listen, babies don't have acid reflux, they have food allergies. They have an immature gut lining. That immature gut lining is what is creating the mess in symptom land for that child. And remember, a 26-month-old child and younger, all the way from newborn babe all the way to 26 months, they don't have a fully mature gut lining. That creates a problem if you are trying to put foods in too early, or if you're putting in all these fake corn syrup based formulas or these dairy based synthetic useless foods, Franken foods that will wreak havoc on your already immature son or daughter's belly. The intestinal lining is immature. It is not ready for those advanced foods. And yes, I understand that might be all you know, but I have been able to find solutions for all these parents, and especially even don't forget, I breastfeed only and my kids still got it. I got you covered too, Mom. That means you are eating food that you can't digest, and your body is putting those undigested proteins into your milk, and that's creating problems. So you actually need to be the patient. Your son or daughter in that case isn't the first line of defense patient, something wrong with the kid. It's the milk that the child is getting that is poisonous, inflamed, and causing problems in their gut lining. The colic, the symptoms, the runny nose, the chronic illness are all just check engine lights that the baby isn't keeping up with whatever is being fed. Okay, so this is fun for me. So I'm not mad. People go, oh, why are you so intense? I said, I am intense because I might be the only voice of reason you're gonna listen to today. And I want you to get this. This is unnecessary to keep suffering. Imbalanced gut microbes. Well, of course, we just talked about the infant. Of course, they got imbalanced gut microbes, but us as adults, we feed the wrong gut army every day. Overabundance of yeast is running rampant. Parasites, microbes of all kinds are being fed the junk food, processed food, fake food that we are consuming as an industrial whole, and we are wondering why we are sick because the gut is wrecked. We have to look to the gut when there is disease of any kind, whether it's allergies, heart disease, whether it's cancer, whatever it is, there is an undertone of digestive issue going on, guaranteed. So I'm not saying that's the cure, but it is the obvious first right step. Well, I've already done a cleanse before. Do another one. I've already done 2. Do another one. I've already done 3. If you're not doing 2 a year of my 21-day detox programs, then you're not doing enough. People go, that's a little excessive. Is it? Do you realize you're eating up to 35 meals a week? That digestive tract is overworked, underpaid, and inflamed. That inflammation left unchecked leads to diseases and diagnoses. Notice I said dis-ease, that's symptoms. Disease, that is a named condition. Diagnoses or syndromes is advanced in its nature. So poor enzyme output. This could be just simply like something like zinc, for example. Not enough zinc, you can't digest your food because you can't manufacture the enzymes and the stomach acids necessary. You could have chromium issues. You could have magnesium calcium issues. So when we start looking at what the body needs and we realize that toxicity is high, we are losing minerals to neutralize the acidic nature of toxin, and that is causing digestive upset. There's no reason for us to be running out of enzymes, right? By the time we're 50. There's no reasons our stomach acid should be an issue by the time we're 70. You are eating food that is inflaming your insides, creating mass problems. It's the same with gallbladder bile issues. If you've got gallstones, tenderness in your upper right quadrant, right shoulder pain, right neck pain, constantly, chronically, you carry your stress in the shoulders and or upper back, that's an indication that your liver gallbladder is screaming, hey, mayday, mayday, help me, help me, help me. So gas after meals is just feedback, okay? So when we look at this, we get excited because we go, wow, what do we know about regularity in bowel function? People don't realize this, that if you are not pooping twice a day, you're slow and sluggish. If you're not satisfied with your poop every day, meaning you didn't get enough out or you pooped out a bunch of rabbit pellets, you're behind the 8 ball. So we want to help you get this underway. You need to have fawn colored fluffy floaters about 1 foot long. These are going to be healthy, easy to pass, and complete satisfied with no skipping days ever. So tips to prevent constipation: exercise, follow the meal schedule, like eat your Dr. Chapa wellness plan. That's a mistake. That picture, I should have looked at that a little closer. I looked at it 3 times. Yogurt, no. You better be a dairy-free yogurt. No. Yogurt's garbage. Scratch that off the list. Drink plenty of water. Most people are just simply dehydrated. Make sure you adopt the correct posture. You know what that is? That's called the squatty potty. Love the squatty potty. You should go at least watch the YouTube video on it. The little unicorn is cool. Abdominal massage. So I was at a seminar this weekend and we were lasering. I have a whole protocol to laser and do work on activating the gut lining, the liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, the pancreas, the stomach, to activate using red light, infrared light, blue light, violet light, all the different colored light in order to maximize blood flow and mitochondrial energy in the gut. A balanced diet, of course, routine toilet input. And you know what I would say with that yogurt a day thing? I would say no dairy. That would be how I would replace that. So I would scratch through yogurt and I would go no dairy, no milk, no cheese, no yogurt, no sour cream, no ice cream, no whey protein. None of that junk. It's garbage. You don't need it. Okay, so what slows the gut down? Stress. This is a major issue. Dehydration. This is a major issue. Processed foods. Sedentary lifestyles. They say sedentary lifestyles is the new smoking. So if you have a sit-down job, you got to get up and get moving and grooving. You better make sure you're part of the 5 a.m. club and get that workout in the morning, because you're not going to get it done at night. You're going to be too tired. All of those things contribute to a high cortisol. Okay, so if you're an adrenal body type, which means you bulk up easily everywhere, symmetrically throughout the whole body, and you're like, but I don't want to look like this. I want to be leaner, and I want to be, more feminine, or I want to be just, the guys don't care as much, but it's a cortisol problem essentially. But high cortisol, high stress, so I like to teach people how to measure stress, will wreck your health. If you come in every day and you're nervous, that's a 7. If you're overwhelmed, that's a 8. If you are anxious, that's a 9. If you're a 10 on a 0 to 10 scale and panicky, that is how you know stress is wrecking your gut. It will literally eat up zonulin included in actomyosin, which are these little tight junction staples that hold your intestinal lining together. And if that lining begins to deteriorate and break down, dysbiosis or disorder in the life forms of the gut get out of whack, get out of balance. And then remember what we told you earlier. When the gut is manufacturing neurotransmitters, your brain is healthy. So the exact opposite is true. If you have dysbiosis or a disordered gut microbiome, by the way, I can help you fix that. It's easy. We got work to do. Your brain will work better, but it will also not work so good. If you don't have good energy output, it's because you have manufacturing facilities clogging up the B vitamin pumps for your gut, and the body suffers. The mitochondria in your brain suffer. Then you have brain inflammation, blood inflammation, bowel inflammation, and that creates systemic inflammation. I really want people to grab this. The gut thrives on rhythm, movement, and consistency. So if you're not working on your gut, you are missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. So those are the only 2 things that we work on. And heck, if we just throw the 3rd one in there, if we help you manage stress, if we help you with your digestion, and we do detox, those 3 areas, we will help you in ways no one else has been able. Why are we ignoring the symptoms? Why is everything backfiring, when the inflammation signals are everywhere and we're inflamed, nutrients absorption drops, which we can't really feel that, but if you have any of the things we've just talked about, nutrient absorption is low, energy declines, hormones struggle to balance out. See, it's not a hormone problem. It's not an energy issue, really. It is a underlying symptom of malnourishment or poisoning of the tissues that is causing your body to run the inflammatory cascade. That inflammatory cascade, if it hits the gut is involved in so many things. The liver's involved in so many things. And they're brother and sister. They work so hard for you together consistently. The symptoms will never disappear. They'll only escalate to the point that you start developing real disorders. This is terrible. This is not what we want for you, for your family, especially your children, because it's hard to work with them whenever they are disfigured with their gut. I have a patient right now. I'm shocked always when people are okay going to the hospital when it's a simple food allergy. I'm shocked when people won't take some bitter herbs. Instead, they go to the hospital and spend a day there, and who knows how many thousands of dollars. But the reality is, it's your life, your health, your choice. We have to let people learn on their way, but we want to be constant in educating people how to live their best, be their best, stay their best day in and day out. And so I come to people's side. I do not force people to do the work that I ask them to do. I just get in the boat with them and encourage them to live their best. My kids come to me and say, hey, can I do a gut cleanse? Hey, can I do, take a endocrine protocol? Can I get an immune protocol? And I'm serious, they do. I mean, not always. Sometimes I have to help them remember, but that's just the younglings. The older ones start to get it. They know when their bowels are messed up, their skin is messed up. They know when they have belly bloat, they're eating too much junk, and they got to stop and they got to do a little gut cleanse. This is important for our children to learn because they will be set up for a successful health future, not one that's in constant decline, hitting some of these statistical averages that I just threw out in the beginning of this seminar. The goal isn't silence. The goal isn't to silence the symptoms with drugs, medications. The goal is to understand the root cause. The goal is to support digestion properly. The goal is to restore the balance of the gut. The goal is to help the body function as it was designed. This is why we do this education. This is why we have our Design to Thrive Masterclass. If you want to live your best, be your best, stay your best, you've got to at least check it out. I'm telling you, there's nuggets in here that I go back to and go, why don't people get it? And I have to make sure that I'm doing this work. I do the same stuff. I'm tempted with the same stuff day in and day out that you are. But I know that if I stay patched into you guys, if I'm willing to educate myself, go to seminars when I don't need to go learn this stuff anymore, I already know it. I'm already practicing it day in and day out. I'm already part of the 5 a.m. club. I'm already getting my butt up and moving and grooving and doing what I need to do. I'm already avoiding milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, ice cream, whey protein, and so should you. The deeper you look at how your body heals and feels, and the more intentional you are with what you know you should be doing day in and day out, I promise you, you will thrive in a world that is trying to set you up for failure. I get just excited. I'm bursting out of the seams. I want to get out of this chair and run around. So I really want you to get connected, okay? Follow us on all the Facebook platforms. Join our newsletter. Help us share the message. Get this message to your friends, family, loved ones. I still believe in the power of the handshake, in passing on the referral. Send your friends, family, and loved ones. People all the time, they come close to my campfire and they get better. They run away from my campfire, they get worse. It's just the way it goes. People say, well, he's just so intense. He takes all these vitamins, he does all these detoxes, he does all these things, and I'm just intimidated. Don't be intimidated. Let the shepherd speak. This is where God has me shining. This is what I'm good at. This is what I want to do for you to help you and your family live their best, be their best, stay their best, day in and day out, all the days of your life, forever and ever. Amen. Can somebody give me a little bit of a prayer? Amen sign. That would be awesome. Okay, so I expect you guys to help me share this message. I'd love it. I need it. I want y'all to help us. So the final gut reminder, your belly isn't betraying you. Isn't that good? It's just communicating with you, but you have been duped in believing that you need an antacid, that you need an antibiotic, that you need some sort of intervention. But the reality is you need an intervention on what you're putting in your mouth. We've got to help support your body wisely. We got to help you listen early. We don't want you to wait until your body gets sick. We want to hit the ground running. Get that master's class in your inbox. Share this with somebody. Get on our newsletter. Help us and be helped in the process. Ivan Misner used to say it, giver's gain. You know, the great guy that started Business Networking International. I love talking about this stuff. I love helping people. So I hope this finds you well and I hope that you're living your best life day in and day out. And this is an encouragement of reminding, not necessarily a spark to get you motivated. But either way, wherever you find yourself on the Dr. Chapa Wellness Show, put a comment at the bottom that you liked it, that you loved it, that you shared it, and put a comment at the bottom of how it's going to change you going forward. So guys, without further ado, we'll see you next Monday night, 7 p.m., bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to rock and roll to live our best day in and day out. God bless you. See you soon.